I just, I just, just finished the video on autonomy and balance, and I was talking about the emperor so heavily, and I put my cards up and brought them out and split the fucking deck. Or speaking about the motherfucking emperor. Ah, I love when the universe backs me up, like straight up. Like that's a fond ass feeling. Like I appreciate it so well that I can't. I mean, it never ceases. It never ceases to amaze me what I can get into when I tune in and just get into it. So, oh my stars, got a motherfucking trapper keeper to hold my cards. Change is in the air, and I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I like it. I like change now. Emperor again. So lately, I've been really attracted to pearls, and I didn't know why. And I've been studying permaculture. Feel like I'm fucking Captain Planet, you know? Like, so, and it was just something so cool about pearls. We have all these crystals and stuff, and they come from the earth. And a pearl is developed inside of a muscle. You know what I mean? It's very precious. Um, Black pearls, Tahitian pearls, they're spectacular. And people love them because of their dark nature when they're so used to the pearly white luster that you usually see. But the iridescence of a pearl, I mean, it just, to me, it says aura. It says, it's a full spectrum. It takes a long time to make a pearl, like upward 18 months. So just to know that this was submerged in inside of something and grown, it's almost like the Empress type of vibe to me. And they always, clutching my pearls or precious pearls. I think of Our Lady part as a pearl, okay? But also, it's like, we're precious. You don't just open up and expose that softness. Like, when you feel safe to do so, and you're protected, and the way your aura is set up, like, you can do this anywhere at any time. You can be this open, this vulnerable, this loving, this hopeful, this blessed anywhere with anyone at any time. It's a notion, it's a knowing. It's a fucking knowing. Let's see what the cards have to say. Who that? I said that. Damn. Who's from New Orleans? I'm in Rise Up country, so that's gonna be problematic. And it's almost like, okay, an end. Okay. There's a difference. There's a difference. Whoa. 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 Okay. There's a difference in these two representations of naked energy, of vulnerable energy. This is being protected. That's where her pearl is at, actually. And to think a pearl is inside of a sack, a pearl sack, and nacre grows around the piece of tissue, tissue being body, or you can consider her being wrapped in a layer of something precious. When I was speaking about the aura itself and being protected and being comfortable, being as naked as you are, anywhere that you are, your naked truth, just who you are. Ah, this is what I mean, the star, but encapsulated with guardians. Okay, it changes the nature of what this used to be. You can still be around this energy without feeling bound and restricted. This is a different type of hug. If I can explain it like that. You have a bear hug that a mother can give you, a father can give you, and whatnot. Somebody who's protectant, a protector can give you. And then you have something like this that feels like it's a bind, like being tangled in. There's a difference. There's a difference. So to reflect back on, no matter what the situation is, it may not be a situation that is gone from your life. It can be a situation that you're still very involved in. But the nature of it, I remember having a dream, and someone associated with my Chiron placement came to me and said it doesn't have to be toxic, right? There's a purification that has happened within a connection, within a situation, within a circumstance. So it no longer has to feel this way, but there's muscle memory of what it felt like. So to be immersed and wrapped and clothed in protection and healing, and just like I said, you have guardians at the gate. X marks the spot. You're pretty much you're good. You're good. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're in the center. You have remained balanced. You have come to the sense of balance that only you know inwardly. You have your own scale. You have your own compass that is balanced and is pointing north. You understand? So this shit here will have you feeling upside down, inside out, unlike yourself. But it's really to purge out the parts of you that are, let me show you. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Like this. I love this case because it felt like me. And, I talked about AU and AU being the alchemical representation of gold in the periodic table. AU is me. That's gold. That's how I feel. This is something I went from a silver yin to the masculine yang gold. And I understand it now. And I can trust myself to take it there. So you have this pearly white. I fucking love pearl. Okay? You have this pearly white. And you have the gold flakes within it. Right? But then you have these creases, this marbling, this unique. To make white paint, you need black. Point blank simple. I used to mix paint. So I understand, like, to get a pure white paint, right, you have to have black, period. Not talking about race, so let's not take it there. That's another conversation for another time. But what I mean is to understand the purity and the safety and the sanctity and the sanctum and the everything that this represents here, to have this sense of protection and to really know what safety and stability and guardianship, to be guarded, but not to be defensive. You know what I mean? You're naturally guarded and protected. That's because you had to know what this was first to understand what true sense of safety and stability meant. It's an inside job. So this had to be present So therefore, you would know its opposite. Underneath the devil card was the Ace of Pentacles. And I don't feel like this is brand new. I feel like this is something that has already emerged or been in gestation when I talked about pregnancy or having the pearl and be emerged and birthed from a source, a living source. This is what I mean. This is a pearl of wisdom, but this is also a pearl of knowledge, a pearl of life itself. This is something that was custom made. You know what I'm saying? There's no two experiences that are going to be exactly the same. None. So this, had it been accepted before the true knowledge of what this was, this would have not been utilized for all it's worth, if I can say it like that. It's not until a person knows loss that they appreciate life, or not until they have hit rock bottom that they understand and appreciate the heights of joy. Those types of things. So this opportunity that could have very well been presented any other time in life, you were not ready for. You weren't ready. Whether you admit it or not, it may have been something that you've always desired, and therefore here it is again, because it's truly meant for you. But if you weren't aligned with it, and more so aligned with this, more dark than light, you didn't have a true understanding of what light could give you, or what it could yield, or what you could do with it. Because it was far too much darkness clouding your vision. Like you could not see. You really couldn't see. So here we have the King of Cups with the World card. And this is where that emotional intelligence, that discernment is really key. Because now, instead of the emotions running wild and really being reactive, like, chemistry, you have two elements and they don't really, they're volatile. That's the negative, lower energy of this. You had to understand what volatile situations and connections were all about so that you could understand what those types of bonds, those covalent bonds, those ionic bonds, you had to understand this. There's more to it. There's more to chemistry than the good shit. There's a lot of shit that'll explode when you put them together. And that's chemistry too. So, emotional intelligence, that pearl of wisdom. This is being protected. It does not even matter at this point. You can be all of your emotional self, but you understand that you're safe. You understand that you're autonomous. You understand that you're the authority. You know that you're authentic. You have this bubble of balance. It's like a motherfucking... It's a sack. I was talking about permaculture, and, they have a pearl sack, and it's fluid around it. That sounds like a motherfucking placenta and amniotic fluid, and I know I said that wrong. Amniotic fluid. Okay, baby, maybe. Don't be doing that. Let's see what else. How are you? I'm well. How about you? Oh, you're pretty. I'm new neighbors. I like them. This new feel. It's good. You know what? For once, You don't have to be afraid about being greedy. This is yours. Okay. I like it. I don't even know what it's about. It's about that balance. If the Nine of Cups is a man and the Nine of Pentacles is a woman, and you combine those two elements, you get the Chariot. That's yin and yang. Even though water is feminine too and all that, but you can enjoy what you've reaped, what you've grown, what you've sown. It's yielding what it's supposed to. Like, and it's yours though. So you can enjoy it. You can enjoy it. The lack of luxury. Balance again. Red Cross. It's like mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. But that balance though. That Sagittarius card has the symbol of the sun on it 3 times. There, there, and there. Third time the charm. Third time's the charm. Okay, let me actually shuffle the cards. I'm just talking. I miss y'all. What am I going to get into today? That's a transition between Gemini and Cancer, but it's speaking of that same sense of duality. The 6 to the 7. There's something afoot. Can't quite put my finger on it. But it's like crossing a threshold, and it's like there's something dead and gone. Like you're never gonna go back to an idea, never gonna go back to a way. Like standing on it, being real firm. That's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. Let's see. Those same guardians I spoke of in the world card. Here we are again. And with everything written, you've been getting spoon-fed doses of guidance. You see this Sphinx that was on the Chariot card twice? And this Ace of Pentacles. Do you see how cyclical? You're getting another chance to do something that you were going to do anyway, but you kind of fucked it up before. Just to be honest. Oh, fucking stack. Show me. that's relevant at this time. What messages do we need to get in? Too many. Maybe we need to hear all of it, but there's only one thing standing out. Nothing you did was by accident. I asked Spirit a couple days ago, just give me one card to indicate what I need to keep in mind, especially moving forward with all these transits and everything that's coming up. And it was Seven of Pentacles. So for me to see it again lets me know, okay, people get confused with this card because they think that, I don't know, like what they've done was in vain. Like there is no coincidence. Sevens are about mystery. It's about the unseen, the unknown. So when you have a notion to do something and you don't even know why you're doing it, but you fucking did it, now is not the time to question that. We're creating strict, not strict, we're coming into a knowing of what clearly is of value to us so that we can appreciate everything that we've done up until this point. When I spoke about everything that was appreciating or, being appreciative of shit, then you have shit that's depreciating that we're getting rid of. So this is kind of that assessment there. And just because, damn, some of these leaves are brown, that doesn't mean that it's nothing that you can take from it, that you didn't get anything from it. Because you can nurse it back to health. It can still yield for you. You can still take that and plant that again, and still you can reinvent and redo. You still have something to work with. Nothing that you've done, all this work that you've done here, none of it was in vain. You did get something from it. It's just that you don't see the totality of what it was all for. So you're still learning that part. You're still going to be seeing that part, uncovering that part very fucking clearly. This is going to tell you to not be so selfish, or to not wait for the proof first and then start investing your time and energy into things when you know thyself and you know this is your authentic representation, that you are autonomous, that you are the authority, that you do have balance. You can appreciate everything as an achievement because you put your name on it, because you put your hands on it. So you won't be so selfish, or you won't be so stingy, or you won't be so depriving yourself of a brand new fucking experience. So that passion that you were looking for, that spark that you were looking for, that inspiration you were looking for, you kept looking at everything that you've done as if it wasn't enough. You want the 10 of Pentacles, and that's cool, but you're almost there. You're more than halfway there. So to go back to a mindset that puts you in a state of lack, 4 to the 5, is defeatist. So it's asking you to let this loose, to let it go, to be more flexible. Don't compromise on value, but don't be so rigid. Because to receive, you have to give first. You had to give first in order to start yielding. You put that time in to fucking tend to the soil. You still have to then put the seeds in it. And then you have to water it. And then you have to fucking wait. Could you get anything to grow if you couldn't do any of that? If you didn't put in any of that effort, the seeds would just sit there in the pack. You wouldn't get anything. So why would you hold on and never invest? Never put forth? If you put forth, then you get shit. You do this, you can't receive anything. Your hands are full. Your mind is bombarded. Your feet are firmly planted. You ain't going nowhere. But this is not a time to do that, because it's chariot, and it's about movement. It's about fluidity. The passion comes. It comes up on you. That shit grabs you, okay? That shit grabs a hold of you and really feel safe to do so. You have to know what that is. That authority, that autonomy. You know when you're balanced and you know when you're not. So understanding the difference. Why is this chemical reaction volatile? What makes it so? Okay, well, let me remove this element and replace it with something that's more cohesive. It's just that fucking simple. We're not going to make this type of bond. We're not going to use these types of chemicals in our attraction. Not to this job, not to this person, not to this place, not to this thing, not to this project, no nothing. If it feels like that, I don't want it. Because I know me and I know what that feels like from the inside out. Started with the devil, started transcending to the protection of the world. Four of Pentacles is reversed. That uncomfortable comfort zone, you're no longer in it. You're not in it no more. I'm not in it no more. You're not in it no more. This shit is uncomfortable. What we thought was comfort was a whole ass lie. And the whole world is seeing that, feeling that, knowing that. Okay, so it's unanimous. Ain't shit normal or comfortable about what we were experiencing prior to the shutdown, the pandemic. That shit was uncomfortable. But a lot of people got docile and got rooted in that and planted in that. But certain things that were done prior to that was necessary for now. You didn't see any return on those investments. You didn't see what it was necessary for, but now you're reaping it. You're reaping benefit. And it's sparking creativity. It's giving you fire. It's giving you whatever, fucking fuel. It's fueling your flames. And I've been hot all day. Like, since last night. Like, hot under the collar. Just, then I found out that the air wasn't working. Don't look at my nails. You can look at them. Nine of Pentacles. It's worth it. I fucking told you it was worth it. This was upside down. Mirroring, are we? Like a reflection, though. Opposite. Okay. Okay. I need one more because if this is what I think it is, yeah, that's in the middle. That's in the middle of everything. I talked about gestation, and I talked about placenta and the sac and all that. We do have a phallic symbol sitting on top of the archetypal mother. Person in the Seven of Pentacles. This is two different people. Seven of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles. Somebody is in this stage, and another person is in this stage. Earlier showing up as the Nine of Cups. Emotionally, they're there. Practically, financially, energetically, they're here. Another person's here, right? And they're looking down. This person is none the wiser. but they're being looked at for how they grew their own, how they tended to it, how they're enjoying it. Everything around this person is barren. So they're not seeing the proof of their work. This person is seeing fruitfulness in their environment. This person can only focus and concentrate on this here. Watched water never boils. So it doesn't even feel like this person is an earth sign to truly know that this is necessary. This is something that I don't think that they've transcended the pentacle suit before. They probably have more knowledge of another suit. Hence those 9 of Cups versus where they're actually sitting in the Pentacles. They know how to attain wish fulfillment and gratification. Like, that's something they know. 9 of Pentacles, this is something they naturally know. This is a homeostasis, a station that they can always get back to because they understand what it is and they can always draw on that feeling and recreate that in their environment. This person has many, many signs of much growth. Much growth, abundance, wheat. Virgo is derived from Bethlehem, which is house of bread. Like, the fuck? The house of bread. Here we have wheat. Get with it. This is Virgo card, Virgo energy. So is that motherfucking 8 of Pentacles. So is the 10 of Pentacles. Those are Virgo placements naturally. But just what it represents, the growth, the health, the abundance. These motherfuckers could feed a lot of people. Separately and together. This person, there's nobody around to feed. So this person is a little confused. Like, what am I doing all this for? They're really starting to question their own reason for putting this time here, putting this energy here. Like, this is an understanding of how nature and life cycle works. This is not. Unless they are of the earth suit, they're not in full understanding of how life actually works in a physical life cycle sense of way, sort of sense. So this is being let go by the person in the 7 of Pentacles. Having gotten a little bit, they wanted to clutch it and they wanted to hold on to it, and it was kind of smothering. And so you have these brown ass leaves growing around these pentacles. Mine, away from everybody, wanting to just seclude and hold tough and as if something was going to be taken. But now they're understanding what it means to actually give and how that's beneficial. You start to open up your arms and start to open up your, your reaches. That's when shit starts to grow freely. Now it can grow. Now you'll see new shit sprouting up. Do you see this? This person's at a point, this 9 of Pentacles, where when I spoke about emotional intelligence, this is kind of what that is. I know what these feel like, and I'm not getting the sense from my stance emotionally that this would be any different. What can that add to me? How can that nourish me? How can this cup nourish somebody who is so plentiful? She's got waters running behind her, so she knows what fresh, that invigoration feels like. So how exactly is this adding to my nourishment? How is this really giving me? Like, what is it giving me? What is in that cup? That's in the cup. Combining elements here. I can dig it. Anything else for this so I can wrap it up? What you need to do if you don't want want any newness in this form. Might want to wrap it up. Celebration. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. This is why. It's like, look at that. Same representation in a myriad of ways. You got the Four of Cups there. But it's like, it could be a switch of roles. At one point, a person was on the outside looking in, and now somebody is trying to offer them. I'm really enjoying my time alone. I'm really enjoying building my own shit. Like, why is that useful to me now? When I tried to give it, there was more concern with what everybody else was doing. So this shit's empty now. There's nothing else in in these cups. They're hollow. So why leave them at my feet? Like, I can fill those. I don't want to fill those. Matter of fact, the one that you're trying to give me, what the fuck is in it? Like, I don't even drink. Damn. Anything else? Oh, hey, there was an ant on me. They've been trying to bite me all day. I had a spider on me. Oh, okay. Emperor. Who's Emperor? Hmm. Mm. The Emperor's new groove. That's why. That's why. This is why Nine of Pentacles is like, what's that? Because it's coming from the Emperor. The doubtful Emperor. The Emperor has been questioning what the fuck he's been doing. And seeing what was stifling the growth. And now he got a new agenda. Big crit. So you have this person, Nine of Pentacles. Like, I'm not really focused on that. I'm already an Empress. My own authority. Authentic. Autonomous. With balance. Represented by Libra. Having value. Value. Venus. Libra. Taurus. Value. Knowing a sense of partnership. Also knowing what personal value is. Second house. One's own resources. Seventh house. Partnership. Business. Collaboration. So there's Emperor. He influenced this energy. That's the Trump 4, the major arcana that represents and governs these two energies. He did this. He, she, emperor, empress, a dude, a masculine energy, predominantly masculine energy, I'll say. Predominant. Even if it's a same-sex relationship or anything like that. A person who's predominantly masculine, and a lot of people don't even know their role. They just assume one, not knowing that they need to know both. This was his doing. So the Page of Cups was outside looking in. The Page of Cups was Nine of Pentacles, being naive to what emotion really was, not really having that knowledge, looking to share what they discovered, what they knew. Look at what I have. Hoping they would take interest, but they were too busy here. With other people, they were sharing what the contents of their cups were. So now, when this person, Nine of Pentacles, is like, well, shit, I'll just sit out here with everything that I know and everything that I've built and everything that I have, everything that I am and who I have become. I'm really not trying to see anything else pertaining to a cup. I have sustenance. I have my own system of being watered. I don't need it from an outside source. So that's why the blessing is being looked at sideways or not even looked at all. It's not being perceived in the manner that it's being given. Why? Because the emperor has already set the stage with the stinginess, with the holding back, with the despondency, with the uncaring, with the disregard, with the stoicism that is telling another person, I don't need you. I don't want you. It doesn't matter. Okay, well, that's fine. You garden and I'll garden. And I'll eat what's in my garden and enjoy it. And this person, okay, well, you have your own. Grow your estate. Grow your empire. Do your thing. Well, something triggered this. The emperor got a new groove. And here you have some fire energy, this growth. And it could be Mars going into Aries versus being in Pisces. This is compatible with the emperor energy. But those fours are also variations and influences of the emperor energy. So this is kind of what is missing and what is necessary, what is needed. The only other thing I don't see here is any communication. I don't see nobody talking about nothing. No, ain't no talk. No talk. So how is the communication happening? So how is this going to be, how is this going to be known besides, intuition or whatever? There's the talk. There's the talk. It fell on top of the Nine of Pentacles. There's the talk. This is Sag energy, Mercury and Sag to be exact. So we have some fast moving energy, and it really sparks off of this Ace of Wands, this newfound sense of what growth is, like what potentiality, really. That's what an ace is. But it's sharing. It's sharing an idea. It's sharing a prospect. Something that can be, if taken care of in full faith, can bloom and blossom. Seven of Cups. Where it goes, nobody knows. Judgment again. Fucking judgment. I'm not saying it like that. Pluto is decent. I met the entity. This Four of Swords. More Emperor-esque energy. But why? There's really no communication happening. It's all actually, it's more telepathic than anything. And this came out when I was shuffling the Four of Swords and Five of Swords did come up. So I feel like words that will be said right now, due to the Mercury retrograde, will be misinterpreted true. Especially, not I said the cat, that little red hen type of vibe where I did all this shit by myself. Now why should I share it with you? Or, well, damn, back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they don't want me type shit too. Like, it's that type of vibe. So words are really not gonna get you through this. You have to know, you have to feel, you have to, I don't know. You're gonna have to speak in another way. This is subconscious. This is telepathic. War of the Worlds. People aren't saying what they mean, and they're not meaning what they say. They're not saying it out. They're not being vocal. They're just wishing for shit, just hoping for shit. Like, you can truly see the nature or the potential. They're not just saying it. It's unspoken. So it's like even traveling the distance, coming towards that Nine of Pentacles. It's not a word. It's not a confirmation. It's like an energetic agreement. The same things that used to confuse you are the only way now that you can communicate. If you were using telepathy before and motherfuckers made you feel like you were goddamn crazy because only you felt it, or only you admitted you felt it, now they're coming to you in that manner because they know that you can. That's lazy. That's lazy as fuck. Four of Swords. That's lazy. Call. Like, why would you start a connection with telepathy? You can't even speak, like, physical words. Like, not everything is etheric. Like, that's why a motherfucker can't understand. This isn't, I just wish that it would grow. This is, I had to put in the hard work. And they don't understand the physical. If you're Nine of Pentacles and you understand telepathy and you're practical and you can grasp that and you can do that as well as do the practical steps to make shit happen in your everyday environment, then why does another person get to be lazy? Four of Pentacles, I'm not doing nothing. I don't know how to build anything, but I'm going to use my Professor X ability to tell you shit and never confirm, never say, never do anything to complement the ability. Like, they've been hiding abilities and shit, right? Making a person feel as if they're tripping. This person has been communicating telepathically for a long ass motherfucking time. So now, when you're ignoring it, now there has to be action. Because they still cannot be practically engaging and give words for fucking Swords. Emperor, Stoicism, Four Cups. You're giving them their own energy back, right? At first it was Page of Cups. I want to share with you. I want to talk about it. I want to be about it. Let's connect in that etheric way, in that watery way. They didn't want to do that with you. They had other motherfuckers they was doing it with. Family connections, friend connections, other people connections, whatever. But now they're seeing that in order to have the knowledge to build anything substantial that actually exists on the 3D plane, the sun's going down, they're going to need information in exchange from you to even grasp how to grow shit, how to know shit, how to make shit flow and shit. They're barren, barren. There's nothing behind them. You have the advantage of earth and water. The water was used on you. It wasn't used in the most pure way. It was used in a way to dilute, to confuse, to muddy, to all kinds of shit. So you're like, I don't know what the fuck is in that cup. I don't want that. That shit looked real sketchy to me. I don't think I should be going in here. Like, why the fuck should I go there? But you have gone there. But the thing is, this is your true nature. This is your true nature. It's like facing a fear, right? You went in waters that were too deep and you survived because you know how to navigate. But a person now needs you in order to navigate this plane. They've been navigating that one, throwing you hints and bones and all this other shit, but they couldn't meet you on the physical plane and actually do anything on the physical plane. So, yes, there is a stalemate. There is no communication. Why? Because I sense it. I don't have to respond. Who the fuck are you? What gives you the right to communicate with me that way and me be receptive? Moon energy, yin energy. I don't have to receive anything from you because I'm autonomous and I got my own. And everything around me growing, flourishing. So continue to stay in this manner with that 4 energy. Stay stoic, okay? Stay stingy, and I will stay motherfucking uninterested. I don't want that. I don't want that. They know you don't want that. They know you don't want that. They know you want this. Not a roundabout way of communicating, a way they would communicate with any old motherfucking body. You want it personal. Put a name on it. Otherwise, I'm going to give it to you the way that I give to my community, the way that I share in my environment. I don't have to personalize it and just give you when I can give many. Isn't it equal and opposite? Aries, Libra. Aries, Libra. Self, others. Of self, of others. That's what the scales in the Six of Pentacles. This reading went a different direction. One more card. I'm not looking for an outcome. Okay, well, I saw the last 4 energy, but it was, now motherfucker want to use this fire energy. Come up with something quick. But in order to do that, you're going to have to communicate. Gemini, Virgo, Mercury. So maybe it has to be through action. Like, don't speak about it. You got to be about it. Don't intuit it. Don't Professor X and Jean Grey me. This is okay. Nine of Swords. I don't think that this person is ever comfortable speaking. So everything, when they really get down to it, the shit that they blurt out their mouth is not much. It's not gonna sound like it's coming from a place of maturity. It's just not. It's just not. It's just not. They can do far more in the ethers than they can on this physical plane. And I think that's where you have the advantage. You started up as the Page of Cups, and you move to Knight of Cups, meeting their Knight of Swords. You learn quick. Whatever element you put your hands on, you learn it quick. Wheel of Fortune, Lovers, Justice, World. And I said you learn quick. Queen of Cups, Nine of Wands, Queen of Swords. You're well versed. Nine of Swords. This. By the time this person speaks up, they're going to feel like it's too late. They're going to feel like it's too fucking late. See, the chain of events has already started popping off. That Eight of Wands, it's like a return to sender you've done. I'm going to wrap this shit up in the next couple minutes because it's about to be an hour-long read. This return to sender type energy. You got this etheric communication and telepathic communication coming in, and you're like, stop where you at. Don't finish your statement. Like, you're not saying anything, and I can feel it. So now you're well versed. You're well versed, and you clearly understand what the fuck you're doing. Guardians and protection, straight like that. So really, whatever comes your way, you're gonna be unscathed. I think you'll navigate this pretty well. Just be aware, knowing that we do have retrograde shit. A lot of this stuff is supposed to trigger things that you haven't dealt with yet. So if you've dealt with shit and you've been doing it, you're good. You're good. You're good. And you're balanced. You're good. It's everybody around you that you're going to have to offer help to. They're going to have that balance. They're going to look to you for it because they naturally don't have it. I'm looking real iridescent right now. You're good. You're more than good. Like, just keep going, keep working, keep doing it. Like, none of what you've done is in vain. That Seven of Pentacles is for you too. Like, get a random card. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Or keep your telepathic communication to yourself. Shut down. You have your knowing. You don't have to do the communicating. That Four of Pentacles was reversed at first. Somebody is supposed to be doing it for you. Truly. This is yes. This is definitely a yes. Alright. Well, that's that. Woo, woosah. Thank y'all for watching. And it's dark as hell right now. From what I can see, I look like a fucking black pearl. Alright. Well, I'll check y'all again later. Bye.